I've gotten to a point like if I don't spend time at his feet, my day is jacked.
Jacked.
And I'm
Yeah.
talking about
Agreed.
like it's I have a routine. I'll wake up and I listen to a morning prayer,
Yeah.
and then after that, I get up and I'll get in my prayer closet and I'll read my word, and then I'll pray, and then at the end of the night, like I take communion and I pray
Yeah.
again every night.
Yeah.
And so it's just like it's become a routine, not out of obligation, but out
Yeah.
of necessity.
Welcome to the Heart Helper Podcast, a spiritual space where we share extraordinary stories from everyday, ordinary people because we truly believe that inspiration is far greater than influence.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the Heart Helper Podcast. I am your host, Jody Shannon, and we are on season 3, episode 1. Can't even believe we're on season 3, but we are back. We are looking forward to this season. Of course, we're always bringing the love, always bringing the light. Today, I have a very special guest. We are actually from the same area in Florida. I am very excited to talk to this young man. So, you don't know this.
What's up?
I had a friend reach out to me, LJ
Okay.
the Joker, shout out to him. And he was like, there's this guy that you need to reach out to.
Word.
He was like, I saw him post something, and we'll get into it about, I
sure.
think he had posted something about your
Yeah.
dad and wanting to be around male figures, something like that.
For
Like,
sure.
we'll get into that conversation, but he was like, I really want you to reach out to him. He's like, I know you're the Heart Helper. He was like, I want you guys to connect. So I was like, oh, okay,
That's
send
so
me his
dope.
Instagram. And I reached out, and here you are. So guys, today we have Mr. Rico Flash. He is a writer, a producer. He is a Christian. I listened to his music on my way here, and I was like, okay, like literally immediately in my head, I was like, oh, this young man is going to be going places. And one day I'm going to say, oh my gosh, he was on the Heart Helper podcast.
That's right.
So welcome, Mr. Rico Flash, this talented young man. Welcome to the Heart Helper podcast.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes. How
Thank
are you feeling?
I'm excited. I'm good.
I'm excited to
good.
have you.
Yeah.
And us matching was not intentional.
At
The
all.
spirit just moved. I was like, oh, okay, you got on green too.
That's
So
it.
he's here on the Heart Helper, and we're going to have a beautiful and blessed conversation.
Indeed.
Your energy is on 1000.
Likewise.
Yeah, I just can't wait to see where you go. Listening to your music. Let's start with the music first. I know
Let's
we have
talk
so
about it.
much that we'll get into, but listening to your music, it's called, his new EP is called Polaroid. And sometimes people send you your music. You're like, child, throw the CD out the car, because when you're gonna retire trying to make music. But I was like, oh, like very well put together for you to
Yeah.
have written it, produced it, and you're the artist. So well put together. Where does your love for music come from?
My love for music, I would say it started at a young age. My dad is a musician.
Mhm.
He's a drummer and a keyboard player, producer as well.
Okay.
And so, just growing up around that, all my life I've kind of been around the music, from late rehearsals
Yeah.
and just, studio sessions and different
Seeing
things like
him
that.
work.
Yeah, of course. So honestly, it was something that I ran from for a while.
Really?
Just
Why is
simply-
that?
I think I saw some of the struggles that he endured, being a musician.
Yeah.
It comes and goes. And so I saw that side of it, and I was just like, maybe not. But it's so crazy. I ran from it, and like,
God's like, nah, let me
come on back.
snatch on
And
back
that's what
now.
it was. And so
And God will do that.
listen, and it's one of those things where it's like, where I didn't want to do it, now it's the only thing I can ever see
Wow.
myself doing,
Wow.
and I love it.
It like sets your heart on
It's
fire.
liberating.
Yeah. But I could literally tell that in your music. You could tell there's a difference between someone that's passionate about what they're
Sure.
doing and someone's like, okay, I'm just trying to get some quick cash.
For
Because you could
sure.
feel the love in your music.
Put everything into it.
Oh, I could tell.
Yeah.
Listening to it, I was like, okay. Love Elephant. I think that's probably one of my favorites.
extremely personal
Oh my
record.
gosh. Like,
Extremely
love-
personal record.
And I did definitely hear like the inspiration of Prince. What else
Absolutely.
inspired that E EP?
I would say definitely Prince. 80s music in general.
Mhm.
I love 80s music. That's
It gave that vibe
for sure. Yeah,
for sure.
in my opinion, a lot of people they rave about the 90s, but to me, the 80s is the best
Yeah,
era
I
of
love the
music.
80s. The 90s was a vibe, but I do think music was a little bit more rich in the
Yeah,
80s.
for sure.
Yeah.
It had a sonic, a vibe. It
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
like visual. You can see it. Just, I don't know, with film, 80s was just different. It
It
was a
was.
time. Even like
It
how
was
they
a time to
dressed,
be
the
alive.
energy. And I wasn't alive then, of
Yeah.
course, but like just going back and doing research is like, nah, the 80s was it.
It was a
The
vibe.
80s was
I
it.
could hear that in your music for sure.
Yeah.
Like even with the lyrics for Elephant, and it's like you made mention of like, someone, falling in love with someone else and you still
Yeah,
wishing them
for
well.
sure.
Was this song about like an ex? Because I was like, ooh, that's hard to do though. When you love someone, to see them with someone else and you still
Yeah.
wish them well. But I always believe like when you love someone, you love them forever. And you might not be in love with them,
Yeah.
but was that song inspired by
It
someone
was,
you used to
yeah,
date?
it was a one of those things. It was just like an acceptance
Yeah.
of, maybe I wasn't the best fit for you,
Yeah.
but I still wish you well. Like I care that much
I
about
care
you
that
that
much.
I
Yeah.
want to see you do well, even if it's not with me.
Ugh.
And so,
Yeah.
man, that's
That's
maturity.
deep though. That's mature.
maturity.
Yeah.
That's
I
growing
want
up.
to see you happy even if it's not with me. And that's hard to do.
I couldn't have did that probably 3
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, because you have to heal first.
For sure,
You
100%.
definitely have to heal first.
100%. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So when it comes to your music, how do you want people to, I guess, like digest your music?
I think with my music, what happens is they'll listen to it and they'll catch a vibe, but they'll miss what I'm actually saying.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want people to digest my music in a way of like maybe one listen isn't going to be enough.
Yeah.
Because there's so many elements.
There's so many gems and pieces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And being the producer and the writer, like I know exactly
Yeah.
what I'm doing as far as like I'm very meticulous and I'm like, okay, I'm going to put this here. I'm going to create this moment here because I said this there. And so I would say I want people to listen to it more than once.
Yeah.
Maybe one time catch a vibe, dance, and then the next time listen to the lyrics and what I'm actually saying.
Yeah.
And that way you can like actually, because I think so often like we get caught up in the beat and we get caught up in the whole overall vibe of whatever.
See,
the
I
song
love the
is.
lyrics. I'm a lyric
But
girl, but I'm also a
yeah,
poet. So
you
when I hear a
have to
lyric, that's
read.
when you said like, dang, I want to see you happy. Even I was
For
like,
sure.
God,
You have to
I
read
felt
the
that,
lyrics.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of my biggest things. Is like
Yeah.
I want people to really like take a time and pay attention to the lyric because I
Yeah.
am a writer. You know what I mean? Like I really
really
write.
savor it.
For
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
And as a creative, it's like you want people to get like, dang, did they catch that in that line?
Exactly.
Even when I write poetry, I'm like, man, did you understand? Like, did you really feel the word? Like, read it again, make sure,
Exactly. A lot of
so-
times it's metaphor.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot of little things like little gems, like you said, that
Yeah.
if you're not listening, if you're not locked in,
You
you're
gonna
gonna
miss
miss it.
it. Yeah,
Exactly.
you miss it. Yeah.
Exactly.
How do you feel? I know we talked a little bit about this off camera because sometimes when you're a creative or you're producing something, like, I don't know what it is about people and the lack of support. They won't repost, they won't comment, they won't even say, dang, I really like the song. Why do you think it's so hard to get support from people?
Niggas just too cool.
Why are we
just-
so cool? Why do we want to be so cool?
I don't know. It's like it's not cool to support her. It's not
Yeah.
cool to, really, I guess, give people their flowers. I don't know. It's weird. And so like
It is weird.
I have
understand
I have a knowledge of that. And so I do my best to always like do that to others.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways I feel like maybe it's me doing that subconsciously because that's what I desire myself.
But I feel like, the more that you do it for other people, you hope that it's
For
reciprocated.
sure, 100%, 100%.
you know?
And that's the thing. I think, like for me, is like one of those things where nobody will ever be able to say Rico didn't show love,
Yeah,
Rico didn't this,
yeah.
because it's like if I like it, I'm a comment,
I-
I'm gonna repost it, I'm
absolutely.
gonna share it, like, and that's just I feel like that's just how it should be. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I think we oftentimes forget that we're all trying to make something happen. We all trying to do things,
Mhm.
and so like while we all kind of maybe separate and try to go our own ways, like we come together and just help each other out and
Yeah.
boost each other, like we can go far.
We could go so much further. I think we live in a generation where everyone is just so focused on self
Yeah.
that sometimes the things that you're doing, people are like, oh, whatever, I got to focus
I
on
got
what
my
I'm-"
own thing.
Yeah.
And I fall into that trap as well sometimes, and I be having to
Because
check
you're
myself.
so hyper focused on what you have going
100%.
on. Yeah.
100%.
I hope we get back to the place though where we are connected. So just like, I work in health tech now, and there's a study that shows 1 in 2 adults suffer from loneliness and isolation.
I could believe it.
So in our generation now, we have so many resources to be connected, whether it's Instagram, TikTok.
Right.
We're always on our phone. So we have so many means to communicate with
But
each
are we
other.
really connected,
We're
though?
not connected. So literally
Exactly.
1 in 2 adults say that they suffer from isolation. That isolation then leads to depression. When
Right.
you're depressed, now you're not taking your
There
medication.
you
Now
go.
you're starting to get chronic illness. So we literally have to be hyper focused
We
on
have to.
being connected.
Yeah, and that's
Because
the
people are
thing.
suffering.
I feel like social media has kind of given us this facade of like,
We're connected.
oh, I saw his story. He's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
He posted this. He's laughing. He's all right. And it's
Yeah.
like people only gonna post their highlights. You know what I'm saying? And
Speak
so
on
they
it.
don't
Yeah.
they don't never really.
Yeah.
It's not cool to post your lows, and so
Yeah.
you could really be suffering, but you're gonna post. Put your best foot forward, shiny your shoes up, and
Absolutely.
put
You're
up
on
this.
vacation.
There you
You're
go. But
kikiing.
are you really okay?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Are
saying?
you
And
really okay?
and that's the thing where a lot of times we get so caught up in the social media aspect of it, and it's like, nah, I saw him, he's good, and it's like, but I pick up the phone and call me.
Pick up the phone and
Let's
call.
actually
Yeah.
talk, because
Absolutely.
a DM isn't enough.
Yeah, and a DM. If you DM me, we did not talk.
100%.
If you know me on social media, we are not friends.
We are
Let's
not
be clear,
friends.
okay? Because
We
a lot
are
of y'all
not
thought my
friends.
real name was Bobby. Okay, we are not friends. And that's what I hate about our generation is like we're so connected, but then you won't know someone's suffering. You won't know
100%.
someone that is in pain. That's why I am so intentional about asking people, well, how is your heart?
For sure.
Like
for sure.
I hate that we are disconnected. So I'm working on being more intentional with checking on people,
As am I.
calling.
As
Yeah,
am
you
I.
have to be.
Yeah.
You have to be. You have to be.
100%.
So I want to get into I know we talked about your music
Mhm.
and your dad was the inspiration for your
Correct.
music. And I don't know how deep you want to get into this because we talked about prior to us getting together. I'm like, hey, these are the questions. Let me know a little bit more about yourself. And you did make mention of like daddy issues.
Right.
And one thing that I found so intriguing about what you wrote me back was that, your dad was in the household, you know who your dad is, but you just didn't have that connection with your dad. But one thing when I was like, it was an aha moment for me was when you said that your dad couldn't give you what he didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there, but people can't give you what they don't have.
Right.
People can't give you what they don't know. So could you talk about that, like why you felt like you had daddy issues or why you felt like you guys didn't have that connection?
I think, well, honestly, I didn't realize how bad it was, like as far as daddy issues, to maybe like a year and a half ago.
And
You know?
what triggered that?
I don't know. I think it was just one of those things of like, of course, like you grow up and you become a man and you're like, okay, it's certain things that is just like I don't agree with, or certain things that you see and it's like, okay, that's where we're different.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, it was it was one night I was at work and just things just started coming. It was like the Lord just started downloading just memories and just different things, realizations about myself.
Yeah.
And I took out my phone and I started taking notes and just writing down every thought that came to me. And I realized,
I love
like,
that you did that.
yeah, for sure. And I realized, like, as I was doing that, a lot of it stemmed from daddy issues, from just my confidence,
Yeah.
or the lack thereof.
Yeah.
Relationships with women, I didn't know that was possible. I
Yeah.
always thought like me and my mom, we good, so like relationships with women is gonna be straight, but like nah,
No,
like
yeah,
daddy
it's
issues play a
deep.
part in that
Yeah.
as well. And so I think it was just literally like just that moment, maybe like I said, about a year, probably about a year and maybe a few months ago, it just came to me and I was
Yeah.
just like, whoa,
Why am I feeling like this?
yeah. And but it was one of those things where for so long I would just have moments where I'm just like I'm down, or I'm upset or whatever, or just as men we go through different emotions, but we can't identify them. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I'm gonna just shake it off. I'm gonna go to the gym and work out, or
Yeah.
I'm gonna
And I'm gonna keep a strong face. I
I'ma
notice a lot of men do
yeah,
that. That's why I want to
exactly.
have more men on the podcast.
But the
'cause of
thing
that.
is, I had to realize like I never identified what it was, and so once those things started to come to me, it's like I can identify what this is now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like you can't heal something that you don't think is hurting.
There you go.
You can't, fix something that you don't think is broken.
There
So
you
the
go.
fact that you were able to I love that you wrote it down.
For sure.
So it's like, wait, let me analyze why I am feeling like this.
Yeah.
But even as a parent, I don't think your dad could probably have given you what his dad didn't give him.
Right.
Was his dad not in his life?
Nah, and that's the thing. He was.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned recently that my grandfather's father passed away at like when he was 15, and so you can only imagine that's only as much as he knows to give my father.
Yeah.
And so if my father didn't necessarily do the work to understand how to father me past that age, then
Yeah.
it's going to be a drop off at some point. And I kind of experienced that.
Yeah. Have you had that conversation with your dad? Like, hey, this is how I feel. I know it's not easy, but I do think it's a conversation that needs to be had because I am not a I know I talk a lot, but I don't like I just like sit back and observe and
For
verbally.
sure. I'm
If
the
someone
same
does
way.
something to me, I'm like,
I'm the same way.
I just won't talk to them again. But I noticed doing that though, someone's like, oh my God, I didn't even know that made you feel like that. Well, Jody, why did you not say something? Like
Right.
you disappeared for years. Like this is what happened that day when this happened.
Right, right.
So have you had that conversation to fully express like, Dad, this makes me feel like that?
That's a very I'll say timely question.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because my problem is I suppress
Mm-hmm.
really bad.
When's your birthday?
November
What?
16th.
Oh, you a Scorpio. Oh, child. Okay, I'm a water sign too. Why do we do that? Not that we're about signs. We're all about the Lord here.
Right, I don't really do the whole zodiac thing.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
But
I'm working on it.
yeah, no, I suppress and in doing so, what has happened is recently my cup has gotten full, and instead of it pouring out, it exploded.
Yeah.
And so recently we had a conversation and it didn't go well because I exploded. And I think what it was I was trying to express something to him and he wasn't hearing me.
Yeah.
And you know, I realized also recently that anger a lot of times is just like pain and sadness, but it just comes out as anger, and then once
you don't know how to express it.
Once you identify it, it's like, okay, no, I'm not really mad, I'm hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
that's good.
That's how it came out. And so we've had conversations before, but most recently it was the night of Christmas.
Oh no, not Christmas.
We got
You couldn't wait till the 26th?
No, we got into it.
Oh
and
no.
So, yeah, those conversations.
He didn't understand where you were coming from.
No, he didn't.
No. And he grew up, you grew up with him in the household.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
And that I think proves the point that sometimes you could be, present, but you're not there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
you know how you could be in a room full of people and it's like, oh, you're not lonely, but it's like, no, I am. Like you're in but you still feel isolated.
Yeah.
And I think that's important.
That's what it was. I think, again, he was there. He was in the house. He was. I'm not gonna make it seem like he was, always there. He's a musician, and so late nights traveling and different things like that. And so we kind of just became accustomed to that. But then when he was there, it was just like we got so used. My sister and I, we got so used to just having us and my mom, and so that became kind of just the norm. And then when he would come around, it would be like a disconnect. It's like,
well, where you been? And we ain't seen you in a long time.
Yeah,
I get it.
And so that kind of, I guess, relationship between, or I guess I won't even say relationship, just like that, the disconnect between him not being present with us all the time and missing like pivotal moments, just conversations that we've had with my mom growing up that we didn't have with him because he
wasn't there
doing this thing. And so it became a norm for us. And for so long, you want to know, I thought I was like, I'm straight. Like, I figured it out. I'm good. And my mom would tell me when I was like 14, 15, 16, 17, like, you're going to need your dad when you're an adult.
Absolutely.
And I'd be like, man, watch out. Like, what you talking about?
Yeah.
And I didn't think so because I'm like, if I'm at this age and I've made it, without the level of support that I would like,
I can keep going.
I think I'll be all right. But as I've gotten older, it's become a thing of like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I honor you for one being so vulnerable and being so honest, but identifying that this made me feel like this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people don't. And going back to what you said, when I see angry people, I'm like, oh, they're not angry, they're hurt. You're literally hurt. Like, how? That's what I say. How is your heart? You're not angry. You're literally hurt.
Yeah.
And it's like something else is triggering you to respond in this way.
Sure.
So after your conversation on Christmas, have you guys talked since then? No.
Really? He texts me and it's like, But just, we're working through it.
Yeah, you
We're
will.
working through it. I'm believing God that he's doing something. He's
Yeah.
working. He's working. I think it was the timing of that conversation to end the year like that.
Yeah.
You had to kind of shed that off.
Yeah.
So that we can come into 2026. I at least I got that off my heart.
Yeah.
And so
So
now,
now and that's why I think it is important to tell people how you feel, because it's like, now I'm going to leave it with you. You digest
yeah,
it,
you
and
do
let's
what you
figure
want.
out how
For
we go
sure.
from there.
For sure.
In this space, like, what would you want to tell your dad right now?
I don't know. Maybe just like hear me, see
Yeah.
me,
Hear
you
me,
know,
see me. Show up for me.
show up,
Yeah.
in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Because again, you may think you're there, you're showing up because you're present,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I need you to like be there emotionally,
Yeah.
be there, create a safe space,
Yeah.
so that we can talk and different things like that.
And you know what? I hope that he hears this, and
For
I think
sure.
he'll be able to understand your perspective.
Yeah.
When you have kids, what type of father do you want to be?
Mm. You want to know something?
I'm like, do you have kids? I didn't
No,
ask.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
I'm like, wait, he might already have
Nah, not
kids.
yet. Not yet. So I made a vow to myself
Mm-hmm.
and to my unborn children, and I've talked to those around me that's close to me, my mom, my sister. I recently told my little cousin, like, I made a vow, and I told them, like, yo, y'all niggas hold me accountable to
Yeah.
this,
Don't
because
forget I said this.
no, dead serious. My children will not experience what I experienced.
Mm-hmm.
My children will not feel the pain that I felt, and
Yeah.
and I'm still feeling. Like, that is my vow.
Yeah.
Like, if I, God willing, if I have a son, like, he will not know what it's like
Yeah.
to not have dad. He will not know what it's like to question if dad loves me. If it's just certain things,
Yeah.
like, nah, like, my son will not. If I have to be that annoying dad that's always hugging and kissing
Yeah,
on you,
you
like,
will be.
I will be that
Yeah.
guy, because you're not gonna know what it's like to not have affection from dad.
Yeah.
You're not gonna know what it's like to not have that safe space to talk to me. Like, I will be that
Yeah.
annoying dad if I have to, because it's one of those things where it's just like, I know what it's like on the other side, and it's like, I would rather be that dad of, like, always there,
Yeah.
than have my children questioning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, if it means putting myself to the side, if it means losing sleep, whatever I gotta do,
Yeah.
like, I will always be there for my children. I will pray
To
for
be
my kids.
physically, emotionally,
Yeah, I will.
and I think that's what a lot of people miss. I know some men struggle with like emotional maturity,
For sure.
and I think sometimes men think like, "Oh, I provide and I'm there physically, like I
Yeah.
was there." But you have to be there emotionally for someone.
For
You have to be
sure.
there spiritually for someone, and men are the leaders of the household.
They establish
So
the atmosphere of the whole
yeah,
house.
you
Yeah.
set the tone for the household. That's why it's so important to, especially for women, as you date, as you marry, like he has to lead you in every area of your life.
100%.
And then if he's not connected to God, I can't trust where you're leading me,
There you
because
go.
it's like, if you're not talking to God, you about to lead us to hell.
There you
So,
go.
So, and maybe your dad thought because he was there physically or financially that he was giving you guys enough.
The thing about it, one thing I've heard this recently, and it's so true. You can be outgoing and providing or what have you.
Yeah.
Doing whatever you're doing, but children spell love Time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've had
You're right.
to accept the fact that, like, it was the time that was missed
Mm-hmm.
that caused that void. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so,
To really build that relationship
yes,
with one another.
it's just the time,
Yeah.
and a lot of times for me it felt like didn't have it, because
Yeah.
you're so busy, you're doing, and it's not to, this isn't a bad dad conversation.
No,
I've
not at all.
learned to also give him grace, because my parents were very young when they had me and my sister.
How
Like,
old were they?
by the time I was born, I'm the youngest. By the time I was born, they were 20 and 22,
Oh yeah, they were
married with
really
2
young.
children.
Oh,
You see what I'm
child.
saying? And so that it's,
They were young.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. There were
So
kids
their
raising
kids,
kids.
yeah, that's what I
There
was
were
just
kids
about to
raising
say.
kids. And so
Literally.
I've learned, like, again, even with my dad, he's a musician. And so chasing your dream, wanting to do that relentlessly, and you have a family and kids,
Yeah.
like, that's not easy. And
Yeah.
so I've learned to give him a certain level of grace, because I see, the struggle, and I could only imagine. you know?
That's what I was just about to say is giving our parents grace. And as a parent now, like the things that you're saying are resonating with me. I'm like, oh my gosh, sometimes I do feel like I'm such a busy mom. I'm
Yeah.
working, doing a podcast or writing a book and then taking my son to football or, I'm like, gosh, being intentional about that
Yeah.
time. So that, this is an inspiring conversation with me
Exactly.
too, because I want to be mindful.
Right.
Am I present enough?
Yeah, I mean, and even again, like you said, you're taking your son to football practice and different things like that. Like, have those conversations with your son.
Yeah.
You know, during those times when y'all riding in the car, just the two of y'all, turn the radio
Yeah.
off and just have a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, son, put your phone down.
Connect.
Let's talk about
Yeah.
what's going on
Connect.
in life. And I think my mom, she used to do this, and it was so annoying when we were younger, but I appreciate it now. She would ask me like every day, like, "How was your day? Good. Did anything interesting happen at school?" No, I went to school. But
I
that's
hated it there.
but that's her like
Trying to
asking and
connect with
creating that
you.
space of
Yeah.
like, if anything happened, you can talk to me about
Yeah.
it. And so now, because of that, like, it felt like maybe she was prying for information then, but now at my big age, it's like I call her and we can talk about
Yeah.
anything. You know what I'm
She
saying? And so
created that safe
he
space.
created it,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's up to you, because I think so often I can say I experienced this with my dad. He's like, the phone works both ways and different things
Yeah.
like that, which is true.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like it's up to you as the parent, even at this age, to establish that safe space. It's not our job as the kids to
Yeah.
reach out and to come to you. Like, we don't know how to come to you if
Yeah.
you don't tell us, like, hey, this is how you can come to me. We can sit down and we can talk. We can have conversations. We can laugh. We can cry.
Yeah.
You can be vulnerable with me. And so I think that's the thing, especially just with dads, is just
Different.
creating that space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And establishing it for your kids, because we don't know unless you tell us, unless you show us.
Yeah. Parents set the foundation.
There you go.
And I think because men aren't like women, we're always going to be like lovey-dovey
Right,
on our
right.
kids. Like, well, how was your day? What did you do? Oh, I'll, give me a kiss before you get out the car. I think men feel like they have to be so tough and they have to be so hard, especially men of color in this world.
For
It's
sure.
like, when I see a man like relax his shoulders, I'm like, oh, love that for you.
Because it's like every single day is war.
Yes.
Every day you cross over
Yeah.
that threshold to leave your house is war.
Yeah.
Whether you
And
want to
that's a
believe
heavy
it,
burden to
it's
carry. That's heavy.
for sure. And so I'm having to just like I said, being an adult now, I'm realizing that, like, okay, no, it wasn't easy for him.
Yeah.
But again, it don't negate the fact that, like, we suffer because of it.
Yeah.
You know
And
what
we
I'm saying?
have to have the conversation so we could heal.
For sure.
I'm glad that you guys had the conversation, and I'm praying that the relationship is just rebuilt
I'm
even
believing
better
that
than
it will.
before. You guys are both still living.
Yeah.
And I know all things will be well.
Oh,
All
yeah.
things will be well.
For
So I
sure.
truly believe that.
For sure.
So from that, let's get into mental health.
Let's get into it.
Because, child, y'all, I always say this, like, the human experience is so trying.
Yeah.
It's so difficult, and we don't talk about it enough. I'm not going to say I'm going to give the human experience 0 stars, because obviously God sent us here for a reason. You're meant to be this human being. I would say we're spiritual beings having a human experience.
Mhm.
And I think as I grow and as I learn, I think as a Christian, I just don't think I used to think suffering should not be a part of my life. Because, you think about the fruits of the Spirit, joy, love,
Right,
peace.
right.
So, when you give your life to the Lord, you're like, oh my gosh, my life is just going to be gumdrops and berries. I'm going to be just like so happy. I'm going to praise
didn't
God
read the terms
all
and
of my
conditions.
life. And literally, as soon as you surrender, the devil's like, bet.
Yeah, you
Let me
gotta
throw
read the
this
fine
at her.
print
Let
on
me
that
throw
thing.
this at her.
Yeah.
And it's really like suffering is a part of being a human. And this season, which was very trying for me, I'm like, oh, you don't know how to suffer well. As soon as I start feeling a little shaky, I'm like, oh, I'm ready to get out of this.
Yeah.
I don't like how I'm feeling. Like, this is uncomfortable. But literally, you're supposed to count it all joy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for me and my mental health, I have to read my word. I have to
to.
pray. I have to go to the gym. And like you did, I have to just write down, like, how am I feeling? Why do I feel like this? Like, I need a moment to myself. Let me not be around anyone. What are things that you do to kind of like address your mental health?
So for me, definitely reading my word and prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've gotten to a point, like, if I don't spend time at his feet, my day is jacked. And
Yeah.
I'm talking about
Agreed.
like I have a routine now. I wake up and I listen to a morning prayer,
Yeah.
and then after that, I get up and I'll get in my prayer closet and I'll read my word and then I'll pray, and then at the end of the night, like I take communion and I pray
Yeah.
again every night.
Yeah.
And so it's just like it's become a routine, not out of obligation, but out
Yeah.
of necessity. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
Literally.
so like again, it was one day I think I started my day and I prayed, but it was just real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I might have read the verse of
Thank
the
you. Good
day,
morning. Thank you for
but
waking me up this morning.
yeah,
Have a
but it
good
wasn't
night.
it wasn't what I'm used to, and it was just
Yeah.
like I'm off today. Like
Yeah.
something is off, and I had to like take a moment. I had to go to my car and just pray. Like
Yeah.
get yourself together, get centered,
Yeah.
because if I don't, it's like
Your whole day's off.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think definitely prayer, being in my word, journaling is something that I
Mm.
picked up
I love
last
that.
year. I kind of got off of it, but I got a cousin. Shout out Ja.
Hey,
He
John.
holds me accountable. He be calling me like, "Hey, cousin, did you journal today?" And
I
so
love that.
yeah, so now journaling is something I'm definitely getting back into.
Good.
Just writing down feelings, and then I guess talking to my community,
Mm-hmm.
and when
You have a safe space. Like when you say community, is it like your homeboys?
my
Is it your mom?
granddad, my
Oh,
granddad
okay.
has
So he's
become
been
that
like a father figure to you in
for
a sense.
sure,
Is
and
that your
he's
mom's?
my mom's dad,
Okay,
yeah,
got
and
it.
so him and then my uncle, my mom's brother,
Mm-hmm.
just talking to both of them during this season has been
Helpful.
beyond
Yeah.
helpful, because for so long I felt like nobody understood me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't know why I feel that way. I just feel like I'm in such a unique position,
Yeah.
and so I feel like nobody's gonna understand me,
Yeah.
and so I find myself isolating, and that's one of
Mm.
the worst things you can do. One of the
That's
worst places you could
literally,
be,
yeah.
because you're in your head and your thoughts
Yeah.
is
And that's when the enemy attacks you
a
more. I
100%.
saw Pastor Vincent Campbell at the Faith Center here in Georgia.
Mhm.
He was talking about like the first thing that you want to do when you're depressed is isolate yourself.
For
So
sure.
literally, you have no spiritual protection around. Like,
There
you
you
have
go.
spiritual friends that pray for you and guide you. So it's like the first thing you want to do when you're feeling depressed or anxious is isolate. And the enemy's like, boom, let me throw
Got you.
something else at you.
Got you.
Boom,
Yeah,
let me.
yeah,
But when you
exactly.
have a community around you, then they could kind of back you up like, nah, bro, pick yourself up.
Sometimes it's just bouncing ideas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just getting perspective and talking
Getting
through these things, getting
wisdom.
wisdom,
Yeah.
talking through these things. And so that's what it's been for me, just reaching out and talking to that community of people and realizing, bro, we got more in common than we realize. You know what
Exactly.
I'm
But we
saying?
don't
Like,
talk about it, so we never know that we have
for
a lot in
sure.
common.
Talking to my granddad, he's telling me that he suffers still with daddy issues at 70 something. And it's
Wow.
like his dad been gone, but it's just like just certain things that he endured and he can identify with me. And so it's just
Wow.
like if you at that age can identify, like it's we have to just talk to
We
people. We
have
have
to talk
you know what I'm
about it.
saying? And
Yeah.
so I realized that we are more like other people around us than we realize, and we just have to lean into that and
Yeah.
talk to our people.
And we have to be vulnerable enough
Be
to have those
vulnerable, for
conversations because
sure.
I really feel like you talking about the daddy issues, a lot of men are like, oh my gosh, I have the same thing.
No, for
And
real.
that's going to help them check if they're being a present father,
Yeah.
And I think that's why when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh. And I think that's why LJ wanted me to reach out to you. He said, man, I just wish I was in Atlanta. He's like, man, if I was in Atlanta, man, I would be there
Word.
for him.
Yeah, I remember he DM'd me, and I think we have been following each other for some time, but I don't think we ever really spoke.
And it was something
And
you
so
posted
yeah,
that triggered him to care.
yeah,
And he reached out to me. He's like, yeah, you got to meet with him. You got to talk
we
to
can
him.
talk about it.
Yeah. So,
We can
yeah,
talk about it.
definitely he needs to give you a call too because I love seeing men have a community of other men that
Yeah.
support them
You
and
want to
that
know what's
see them.
crazy though? So the post that you're referring to, it was a story post.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually the day after me and my pop had that conversation,
Mm.
and I was riding in my car. I was sitting at a red light, and I was crying and praying and just crying. And I pulled out my phone and I made a video, and I was basically saying like, I realize I have daddy issues, and I want to go to therapy, but I'm afraid. And I was just saying like, if there's anybody out here that's battling with the same thing, holla at me. Like, I'll give you my
Mm.
number. We can chop it up. Let's do this together. And I saved it, but I didn't post it. And I held it for like 2 hours and just contemplated and prayed and
Like,
contemplated.
should I post this?
Cause my thing is like, I never wanted to be that guy that's like
Crying on the internet.
crying on the internet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or just oh, he trying to get attention, or he this, or he that's a publicity stunt, whatever. And so I was like, if I could be honest, can I be completely, I didn't want to look like a head ass.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna post it. And I prayed and I'm like, God,
Should I post it?
And it's like for 2 hours I was just contemplating, and I heard the Holy Spirit say, do it for others. And I said, okay.
That vulnerability.
When I tell you, I posted that thing and went to sleep, and I woke up to at least 50 DMs. And from there, my phone was lit up all day. And it was just simply because majority of the DMs were like, I'm praying for you. I see you. Woo, woo, woo. But I would say maybe 20 to 25% of them were like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your vulnerability. Men saying, bro, I
feel
battle
the
with the same thing. Thank you for doing it. If you want to do it, I got you. You know what I'm saying? And so I realized, like, at that very moment, how many people are suffering in silence.
Yeah.
And I was grateful for one, that God spoke to me, but I was proud of myself for being obedient.
Yeah.
Because by doing that, I opened up a space for other men to be vulnerable and to see, like, okay, it's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay. And so again, that was my most viewed story ever.
Really?
Like, it just little things that was just like, wow, I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
You know, people that I don't even talk to were just swiping up, like, people saying to me, like, I hate seeing you like this. You're always on here smiling, and you're always on here
kept it
being
real.
positive. You're
That's
always
the problem,
on here this.
though. We always only post
the
when we're in our
highlights,
the great times.
People were saying, like, you know, I've always looked up to you. Like, thank you for posting this. And if you need help, like, I got you, because I don't like seeing you like this, because I look up to you.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, wow. You know, for me, it was the reward of, you know, just being vulnerable and seeing the response. And for me, it was super dope, because at my lowest moment, God used me to help others.
What? And God will always do that.
Exactly.
Literally. And I think that's the post he saw. And he was like, oh my gosh. He's like, I wish that he was in Jacksonville so I could go pull up on him and hug him and be there for him.
And in that moment, like, that's all I needed. But it was like the virtual hugs that I received was so, like, it filled my heart. Oh my God.
We need to do that more, though, because it's like, if you only post when things are pretty, it makes people have this false facade that pain doesn't exist. So when people go through pain, they don't know how to handle it. That's why the suicide rate is up. That's why the depression rate's up. Anxiety rate is up. My son had a classmate, 12 years old, that recently took her own life. And that's a conversation I had to have with my son. Because people are not used to life being life.
Right.
That's why I always said, do you know how to suffer well? But I think that because you were obedient in that moment, God is like, okay, I could unlock something else in you. Now now you're ready to go to that next level. But God will use people that think like, okay, well, no, I don't want to talk about this. But look how God used David. Look how God even used Saul. Look how God used Moses. Moses was like, oh, I know you're not telling me to go to the Pharaoh and say, you need to let the people go.
Talk right.
Yeah, he was like, I stutter, God. And God's like, oh, I know that you stutter. I told you, I chose you. I'm going to literally be working through you. So I chose you for a reason. And sometimes we think we're not good enough. God can't use me. God, is this what you're telling me? Is this the gift you want me to use? Moses had a stutter problem, and look at all the people he saved.
You don't use your weakness for his glory at all times. And so that's something that I'm just having to remember. And just posting that video, like, I realized, okay, this is somehow attached to my purpose. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But I see now that my fearlessness and my vulnerability and the ability for me to speak out and do what a lot of people are scared to do, like, I have to continue to do this, and I can be a voice for other men. Like, if that's what it is, God, like, use me, because I realize how many people are suffering, and I know what it feels like, and I don't like for people to feel, you know, if I know what this feels like, I know other people are feeling at least something similar.
Absolutely.
Nobody should feel like
and they're suffering in silence because everyone's scared to be vulnerable.
Exactly.
So people are carrying all of these bags around in life, like, hey, let me not lay this down, or I don't want to tell them this because I don't want to look weak. So literally people are like Erykah Badu says, bag ladies.
Yeah.
And bag men, like carrying so much hurt. That's why we really can't connect with one another.
I think men think vulnerability is weakness.
Yeah.
And a few people told me in the DMs that day, like, your vulnerability is not weakness. You're showing strength. You're
Yeah.
showing so much strength.
Vulnerability is so attractive. When a
Yeah.
man's vulnerable with me, I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, I like him for real.
Yeah.
So tell me more. I
Right,
love when a
exactly.
man, like, just for a man to feel safe enough to be vulnerable with me, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's like so heartwarming to me.
Exactly.
You do not need to be hard, like I
Yeah.
love to make people feel like, okay, this is a home.
For sure.
Yeah. So I love that you were vulnerable enough. And I do think that is a part of your purpose.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to also help your music go even further
100%.
because people are going to be like, oh my God, I feel like I know him.
Yeah.
I literally know him. Like, and even for LJ to reach out to me, and LJ's always like so hard,
Right.
and but he was like, oh my God, like that touched him. And if you
Wow.
know LJ the Joker, y'all know he has a very hard exterior. So when I was like, okay, I gotta reach out to this young man.
Man, that's dope.
So that moment, it might have been so minimal to you, but it was monumental for other people. So
sure.
it's like you broke a chain and you lit a match, and then now someone else is gonna go to their dad like, "Hey, Dad, I just want to let you know I felt like this."
Yeah.
Then that dad's gonna be like, "Dang, my dad made me feel like this." So anytime we could be vulnerable, it's always valuable.
You want to know what's crazy though? Like me sharing that vulnerable moment, like it's so many people that know me personally that were like, I never knew. Like I envied your relationship with your dad because
I thought y'all were good.
I would see, y'all both musicians, y'all both this.
Yeah.
I would see y'all, and I'm like, bro, it's not really what it looks like. But then at the same time, it's other people who I would say the same thing. Like I envied your relationship with your dad, and it's those people that are DMing me like, yo, I'm battling with the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, bro, like call me. Let's talk about this because we don't have to do this. Like,
alone.
yeah, there you go. And so, again, it was freeing. I think to myself. I know for a fact for myself, but to so many others, just being able to have that moment of just vulnerability and honesty. I think it was necessary.
I think so too.
Yeah.
You might need to do like an event and it's a forum and you have speakers and they're all men and y'all have this open conversation.
I'm not opposed to that. And like I said,
I would love to see men do that.
Yeah, I realize that somehow it's gonna be attached to my purpose.
Absolutely.
And I'm waiting to hear from God to see what's next with that. Because I'm not opposed to that at all.
Yeah, I would love to see that. And I think he would be the perfect person to hold a space like that, even if it was just at a restaurant in a back room, your home, whatever that is. I just feel like men need more safe spaces.
Right.
Men need more safe spaces. Like I want to see men literally exhale and relax their shoulders.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Because I feel like once men are able to do that and men have these safe spaces, our communities are going to be better. Our communities are going to be stronger. Our communities are going to be just like more long lasting. Like we need people like you to be vulnerable.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So let's get into God because I know that you love the Lord
get
and you
into
grew
him.
up in the church.
I did.
So, and I did read, I know you said you was a little bit outside. When you were younger, you were outside. We always outside. Okay. We've all had our moments we were outside because I know I used to party literally every single day. I would on a Sunday and on a Tuesday. It was going up on a Tuesday in Tallahassee, okay? Baby, you know Jody was going to be at the club, period, with a crop top and a short, okay? God will take you a long way, ladies.
I'm trying to tell you.
God will take you a long way. And you said something in what you wrote me. It's like, oh, I always knew who God was.
Right.
But I didn't surrender. So tell me about your time when you was outside and what brought you inside.
So I think during that time was like my early 20s.
Yeah.
And I was just living like a bachelor,
Yeah.
And I think for me, growing up in church and different things like that, like I've known God and I've known, I've always prayed and different things like that. But at the same time, it's like you said, I wasn't fully submitted. And so during that time, I'm traveling, I'm working hard, and so I'm working hard and I'm playing hard.
Yeah.
And so
you're living life. You're in your 20s.
My homies, we going to Houston this weekend. Say no more.
Yeah.
We going to Miami. Say less. We there. And so
Paris, of course.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so so we just hitting different spots and we just enjoying ourselves and I think what I realized later was I was chasing something and I didn't know what I was chasing. And I realized now, like, as I've gotten older and I've slowed down, I feel like I was chasing just for something to fill that emptiness
Yeah.
that I didn't know was there,
Yeah.
and so
You were hungry for something, but eating all the wrong food.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And so even like I said, I was working hard. I was working 2 jobs, just going, trying to feel,
That void.
something. Just trying to feel like, I guess, just trying to feel like accomplished, trying to feel like I'm doing something, trying to
Yeah.
feel, So I'm just going, and then when I'm not going,
And we
I'm
live in a hustle culture.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And so I was just trying to feel self-fulfilled with my work, and then with going out and just living life, and ultimately I was suppressing and ignoring what the real issue was. I was
Mhm.
running from it, not even realizing it. And so I think it's got to a point where I just got tired.
And you're like, you went back to your roots,
I
like,
went
God, I
back.
need you.
Yeah, I went back, and God was like, "All right, cool. I've been waiting on you.
Yeah.
Now that you done slowed down,
I love that
let
God
me
is
cook."
always still waiting. It's like
For
we
sure.
let go of God's hand, and
For sure.
God's like, my
But the
hand's
thing,
still here.
the thing about it, God never really let me go far. He always
Oh,
had
he
his
ain't go,
hand on my
yeah.
life. He
Thank
always had his hand
God.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
His
like,
hand is always there. You just
yeah,
need
so it's
to.
like God had me like on a leash. And
Yeah.
he was like, all
I
right,
ain't gonna let you go
I'm
too
gonna let
far.
you go, but hey, come
Yeah.
back, come back. So
Yeah.
he would always reel me in, and so like conviction has always been there. Just different things
Thank
like
God
that.
for conviction.
Yeah,
Woo,
for
child.
sure.
Conviction snatch you back
For
real
sure. And it's
quick.
protecting me from a lot of
Yeah.
things. And
Yeah.
so I think that's what it is. It's just a lot of things that, I knew like, okay, yeah, I can't go that far.
Yeah.
But again, at the same time, I was living life. And the thing about it, it was necessary, as far as just like, I thank God for mercy. And I think, I'm grateful that he brought me back.
Yeah.
But like, a lot of that was something I feel like I had to do. And my parents were in support of it, believe it or not. Like, again, having kids at a young age, they missed their 20s.
Yeah.
And
Because they were raising kids. Yeah.
right. So I'm a 20-year-old bachelor, 20-something-year-old bachelor, and I'm just living my life. They're like, hey, go,
Yeah.
And of course they're
You'll
covering me.
figure it out.
They're covering me in prayer, and
Yeah.
then they're like, you'll figure it out, but it's a part of your story.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I was just able to just go different places, go different, do different things, experience life.
Mm-hmm.
And that way I can bring those back with me and write about them in
Yeah.
music, or add them to my story. And that way, like, now I can use it as a testimony where I
Absolutely.
can meet someone who's out in the world and
Yeah.
struggling with lust or different things like that, and I can say, bro, I've been there.
Let me
Come here,
help
let
you.
me
Yeah.
let me show you how to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things.
But people could tell you about God, but it hits different when you experience
When you've
God
experienced
for yourself.
it, yeah.
Because I grew up in the church as well. So like you said, I knew who God was.
Mhm.
I used to sing in the choir at the church,
Right.
but I was still outside.
You was outside.
But when you get to experience God for yourself, that's why your parents are probably like, go ahead.
Yeah.
You'll learn. I
And I
had
think-
you in church. You have the foundation.
Yeah, and they knew the umbrella in which I was raised under.
Yeah.
And they knew the work that they had done, and so they knew it was only so far he was gonna go. It's like
Yeah.
when you I guess I can think of like a basketball court, right? And it's like you got the perimeter
Mhm.
of the court, and it's like, okay, not to go out of bounds. And if
Yeah.
you go out of bounds, you can go but so far before it's like, okay, this is uncomfortable. Let me
Yeah.
get back into the
You about to
line.
lose the game.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's kind of how it was for me. It was just like they allowed me to walk the line, they allowed me to toe the line. As I got older, they weren't, overshadowing me or anything like
Yeah.
that. And so it was just they allowed me to live life and create my story for myself. And
Yeah.
it's like my mom especially is like, I know for a fact she was praying because I was out there cutting up.
Listen, ain't nothing like a praying mom.
But at
Boy,
the
let me
same
tell
time,
you.
it's
And a
like,
praying grandma.
for sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was like she knew I was coming back.
Yeah.
And once I did, it was like, okay, you
She
good.
knew that she gave you the foundation. And I think the beautiful thing about life and with prayers is prayers don't expire.
Oh, for sure.
So literally, we are our great grandparents' prayer.
Yeah,
Like literally,
exactly.
God, because God's on His own time. So God, like,
Exactly.
oh, you know what? Jody's grandma did pray about
Yeah,
this for
yeah.
her future grandchildren.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and let that.
And
be,
you
know.
got to
Yeah.
have those praying
Yeah.
parents, praying
And
grandparents.
prayer is so powerful.
For sure.
So powerful.
sure.
If you're feeling some type of way or you're going through something, it's like as soon as you pray, like your spirit just calms.
Go before
And
the
I've been
throne,
like
man.
intentional with talking to God about everything. Like, God, I'm feeling like this. I didn't like the way
Everything.
that they just said that. And I know you
Everything.
saw that, and I
Yeah.
did not appreciate it, but I'm going to chill. Okay.
Because it's easy to pick up the phone and call your homies and vent,
Yeah.
or call whoever and vent. But it's like, no, God is like, bro, vent to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're safe venting
You're
to me
safe
too.
venting to me,
Yeah.
and I already know what you feeling. Like,
Yeah.
come to me first.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'll give you direction and
There
clarity on
you
how you
go.
need to move
I'll
forward.
give you peace of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love to see that you have a relationship with God. You're vulnerable.
100%.
I love that for you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
It seems like your shoulders are relaxing in life now.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know, woosah.
Thank you. No, it took a while.
Yeah.
It
But
definitely
you're
did.
doing the work though.
For sure.
You're doing
For
the work.
sure.
And you
Yeah.
have to do the work. Key takeaway, you have to do the
You
work.
gotta do the work.
You have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to share your truth with people.
And let them know it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's not.
It sucks. It's boring.
Yeah.
At times it's
scary.
It's scary
Yeah.
as hell.
I don't like being vulnerable.
Yeah, no.
As soon as I'm being vulnerable, I'm like.
But the thing is, I think for me at least, and I think so many other men struggle with this, we fear that people will weaponize our vulnerability. And so we're afraid to be vulnerable because we fear that if I show you my socks, you're gonna use that to use it against me for my own detriment. And it's like, so often we don't want to show, like I said before, weakness because we don't want to show vulnerability because it shows weakness. But in reality, vulnerability is strength. Like you can identify with your feelings and you can voice them and put them into words and articulate them. Like that's power.
It really, and I love that you said like people don't want to be vulnerable because people use it like as a weapon against them. I recently had someone tell me that, and like this, he's all like, I respect his vulnerability with me so much, and he has said that like, you know, I've told people certain things or I'm vulnerable with them, and then they use it against me, or like, especially in relationships. It's like, dang, I told you that thinking like you cared. Then now you throw it in my face. Now I'm not telling anyone anything again. Yeah. So we have to be intentional too, I think, about creating safe spaces for one another.
And remembering that everybody isn't the same. You know what I'm saying? You might have gotten cut by this person by being vulnerable, but that doesn't mean the next person or, you know, whoever else has to suffer because you've been scarred. Like, heal from that and be vulnerable with other people.
And allow people to love you.
For sure. Oh my God.
Allow people to
That's something
love
that I've
you.
struggled with.
Yeah.
That's something that I've struggled with, is just allowing and receiving that
you
love.
said that. Yeah.
And so I don't know what that is. I think for me, maybe I felt unworthy for a while.
Why is that? Speak on that.
I don't know.
Unworthy of love?
I don't know. Like, I'm still trying to figure that out. You know, why I felt unworthy. And I think, I don't know, if I could be honest.
But you know what? You brought it up. Pray about it, and God will let you know what that is. Yeah.
I think, well, for me, I know, like, I've always been, like, strong. You know what I'm saying? And among my friends, I've always been the strong one, the one that's, you know, uplifting people and, you know.
You carry it well. Like
exactly. And so, for me, because I'm so used to being at this level and being, you know, the one that they come to for advice and they come to, you know, to vent, and I give them the advice. Now I tell them, you know, I'll do this. Now I speak life into them. I think for me, when I'm at that point, it's like, I don't feel like I have anybody to do that for me in my friend circle.
Who saves the hero?
There you go. There you go. And so I think sometimes that's where it is, where it's like I struggle with accepting that.
Yeah.
And then as far as just not, I don't know, as far as not knowing why I struggle with accepting love.
Yeah, because you give me that you give a lot of love.
For sure.
Yeah, but I want you to know that you're deserving of the same love that you give out. And love feels so good.
It
like,
does.
who doesn't want to receive love? I love love.
Yeah.
I love I love love.
And I love love too. That's the thing.
I love love. It's so infinite. It's so like vast. It's so deep. It's so wide. It's so tall. Like, I love every aspect of love. Romantic love, motherhood.
Sure.
Sisterhood, brotherhood.
Man, that's such a beautiful thing.
Oh my gosh, love is just so infinite. So like, you do deserve love, and be open to it.
For sure.
Be welcoming to it. Allow people to love upon you the same love that you give out. Like, expect to receive it back.
And I think a lot of it is, I'm gonna be a hypocrite for a second, is just being hurt in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and I think
It makes you close yourself
for
up. Yeah.
sure. And so, I mean, we're talking about, it started at a young age when
Yeah.
it matters the most. Again, going back to, growing up, my father,
Mm-hmm.
not receiving that level of love that I wanted, it made me maybe at times feel like I was unworthy,
Yeah.
and so now
It created a void.
as I get older, you may date a young lady and she's showing you so much love, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like maybe I'm not worthy of this. And
Yeah.
so I
You don't
think
even know how to receive
you
it.
don't know how to
Yeah.
receive it because you're not accustomed to it,
Yeah.
and I think that could be a part of what it
I
is.
think so.
Yeah,
And I think too, like when you date, that's why I like even with young ladies that I talk to, I'm like, girl, wait to date till you get to college. Because sometimes you could date prematurely
yeah,
and you get so hurt that it changes your perspective
jack you
on
up.
love.
Yeah,
That's why Sheryl Crow says the first cut is the deepest, or whoever was the original maker
yeah,
of that song. But the
yeah.
first cut could really
I'm
change
trying
your
your
whole
whole
lot, your
perspective
whole
on
perspective.
everything.
Be very discerning in who you do allow into your heart. And in Proverbs 4:23 it says above all else guard your heart, for
Mm-hmm.
everything that you do flows from it. And sometimes we don't put a guardrail on our heart.
Right.
So when you start taking everything to heart, it starts messing with your head.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying? Pastor was Philip Anthony Mitchell.
That's
He
my
says,
guy.
I love, man, when
That's
he be
my
preaching, he's
guy.
like so
I
aggressive
be
with the
there every
word.
Sunday.
I'm like, man, he love the Lord. I
I be
love,
there every
shout out to
Sunday.
Philip Anthony Mitchell
Yeah,
at
shout out Pastor
2819
Mitchell,
Church. Like,
man.
even though I've been to the church a few times, but every Sunday I'll still watch it. Even
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I go to
yeah,
my church, then I watch his church.
yeah.
But he says you owe everyone love, but you do not owe people access.
Access,
And
yeah,
that's something I had to learn because I'm like,
yeah,
oh, I'm just loving. I love everyone, but love everyone, respect everyone. But giving people access to you and to your heart, it could literally change your life for the worse or for the better. And
yeah,
a lot of times, if you're a loving person, you're just giving out free love. Oh, no, you could come hang out with me or I'll pull up on you.
yeah.
I'm going to be there for you. And when you could feel people's energy, I always say people's hearts speak louder than their
There you
words.
go.
So when you start feeling shaky around someone or you walk in the room and the energy shifts, somebody's hear's not right.
Yeah,
You have to trust that.
yeah,
So above all else, guard your heart.
for sure,
Yeah, guard your
for
heart.
sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you. So tell us what you got coming up.
What I
Where can
got
people
coming up?
find you? For one, listen to his new EP, Polaroid, because
Yeah,
listen, it's a vibe. And I know for sure one day I'm like, oh my God, he was on the Heart Helper podcast, season 3, episode 1, Rico Flash. It was just beautifully put together. It was well thought of.
Yeah,
Like I could tell that you deeply enjoy music.
I love
Yeah.
it with
And you
everything in
like
me.
you could tell that you also have a reverence for God.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for
You
sure,
could feel
for
that.
sure. Really,
Yeah.
that's dope.
Absolutely.
That's something that I've always like prayed for. Honestly,
Oh, I
like
could tell. Yeah.
anytime I create, I pray.
Yeah.
And I've always hoped that like people will hear my music, even though it's secular per se.
Yeah.
I
But it ain't like I'm gonna beat you up,
yeah,
gang
nah,
banging. It
nah,
ain't that, y'all. No.
absolutely
Yeah.
not. And
It's
so
love.
I've
It's
always,
yeah.
I've
Heartbreak.
always like asked God, like, Lord, please allow just the spirit that dwells in me, your spirit that dwells in me, to translate through the
Yeah.
music.
Pour out.
And
Yeah.
so it's so dope to hear you say
Yeah,
that. Like,
I
that's super dope.
definitely think that. So
Yeah,
I know that you have the EP out, and
right.
I will put the link to it in the podcast
Please,
description.
yeah,
I'll also put where you guys could find them. So be sure to listen to his music. Be sure to follow him on social media. I absolutely love Polaroid, like a vibe,
word.
a
That's what's
vibe,
up.
a
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah, as
So
you
what do you got
should.
coming up?
So right now, we got Polaroid. We pushing that.
Yeah.
And I'm currently working on a second EP.
Okay.
I'm flirting with the title Unforbidden Fruit.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so it's pretty much done. We just
Waiting to
finishing up,
drop it.
polishing it up, and we're
Yeah.
gonna put it out.
Do you ever think, because I know you love the Lord, do you ever think that you'll make Christian music?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I'm not sure exactly how,
Yeah.
where it's gonna go, what it's gonna look like or sound like, but
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like eventually it will get to that
Yeah.
point. Um, I'm just letting God
Yeah.
cook,
Yeah.
and
I
allowing
would
him
love
to
to
use
see
me.
that from you. I'd love to see what you create musically with
Yeah,
like your sound and your vibe
right.
in a Christian record.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's
So
not
let me know when you
far-fetched.
drop that.
It's
Okay?
not far-fetched at
Yeah,
all.
I think it's coming.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I feel like it's coming.
I'm not opposed to
Yeah,
that.
and I feel like that's gonna take you to like,
A different level.
yeah,
Yeah. I believe it.
I see
I
that.
believe it. I think for me, it would be like, if I was to do it, it would be unorthodox. I'm an unorthodox person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just my approach to everything.
Yeah,
And
but I
so,
think that's what would make it good.
For sure.
Because I feel like, some people think like Christian music has to be one way.
yeah.
But when like I love like Christian hip hop.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the gym listening to
Word.
Pastor Mike Jones. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And my niece played me a song, and he's like, Bibles over Birkins.
That's
And
crazy.
he's like, I need a girl that's reading her Bible, not about no Birkins. I was
That's
like,
funny.
Layla, what is this? I like it. And it's like he's rapping.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I love to see an unorthodox perspective to Christian
For
music
sure.
because then it attracts people that it needs to attract.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Well, I appreciate you. So you have to do this for me.
What's up?
Every guest we have on the Heart Helper podcast, I start the statement and you have to finish it.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So first thing is, I am,
Rico Flash.
I can.
Do all things through Christ who strengthened me.
Hello.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. High five on that. I will.
Be healed.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
And you will be healed.
Yeah.
And the relationship with your father will
I
be healed.
receive that.
And other men listening to this, your relationship with your father will be healed.
Receive
Your
that.
relationship with your kids will be healed. Mothers too.
Yes,
too.
absolutely.
Yeah. Next one is love is.
God, and God is love.
The next one's gonna be God is. Yay! Thank you so much. I appreciate
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you for
That
having
was
me.
a beautiful conversation. The conversation felt good. Like,
Yeah.
I know I sent you questions, but we flowed.
Yeah, I thought you had your cue cards and
Oh,
everything.
child.
You
You know what I said?
you
I
have
was
the
like, I'm gonna
dome with
stop.
it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna stop doing that. We pray and God have your
The
way.
cue cards got a good look to it, though. You know,
Yeah, it definitely
look
does.
professional TV
Usually-
host-ish.
Come on now, sneak
You
it in
know
my
what I'm
life
saying?
now. It's
Yeah,
coming, okay?
yeah.
If anyone needs a TV host, I am available.
Bring the cue
And we can
cards
print
back.
out some Heart Helper cue cards.
Yeah, bring the cue cards back.
Absolutely, yeah. But I just wanted it to flow, which I thought
No,
it
it
would.
did.
Yeah,
It definitely
so
did. This
I'm-
is a dope conversation.
Yeah, I'm thankful for you. So, guys, this is Rico Flash. This is the Heart Helper Podcast, Season 3, Episode 1. We are back, and it's lit. Love you guys. Have a blessed day.